good morning, or whatever time of the day it is that you're choosing to join me for this practice. So this will be roughly a 20-minute energetic morning practice. We're going to begin standing. So standing at the top of your mat, we'll just wake up all parts of the body gently. So drop your chin down to your chest, roll your right ear over to your right shoulder, bring your head behind, chin up to the ceiling, left ear to the left shoulder, and bring your chin back to your chest. So just rolling out the neck, waking up the muscles, and changing direction. So left ear over to the left shoulder, back behind, over to the right. And coming back into the center, rolling your shoulders. So bring your shoulders up towards your ears, back behind, squeeze your shoulder blades together, drop your shoulder blades down towards your ribs, and bring your shoulders forwards. Bring them back up, back, down and forward. Really exaggerating these circles. And change direction so shoulders come forward, down, back and up. And then we'll roll out our wrists. So rolling them in one direction and the other direction. And our elbows as well. And bringing that movement into our shoulders. So making any movements here with your arms just to wake it up, get the energy flowing. And bring your hands onto your hips. We'll just do some hip circles. So making some circles like you have a hula hoop in one direction, and then changing direction. And with your legs, so rolling out one ankle, and change direction, bringing some movement into the knee and the hip, making some circles with the hip. Doesn't matter if it looks crazy, just waking everything up. And the other side, so start with the ankle, change direction, bring movement into the knee, and rolling out the hip as well. So standing at the top of your mat, feet are about hip distance apart, grounding down through your feet, so through your heels and your toes. Pick your toes up, stretch them out, grounding down. Strong in your legs, slight little tuck of your tailbone. Think about activating your core, so belly button is in towards your spine and feel like you're bringing your belly up underneath your ribs. Roll your shoulders up, back and down, crown of the head to the ceiling. Inhale, fingertips up to the ceiling, interlace your fingers. On your exhale, pouring out. Inhale, lengthening your inhale from your heels all the way up to your fingertips. Exhale, pouring out. Extend that exhale, make it as long as you can, out through the nose or the mouth. Inhale, stretch yourself out from your heels all the way up. Exhale, pour it out. Taking an inhale. And as you exhale, tip over to the right. So hips stay as they are, dropping your right shoulder over to the right. So you're lengthening that left oblique muscle. Fingers can stay interlaced. Inhale, getting a bit more space in the left side and the right side. Exhale, tip a little further over to the right. One more inhale here, lengthening through your obliques, waking up your abdominals, your core muscles. Exhale, see if you can tip a little bit further. Inhale to come back to center, changing sides, exhale over to the left. Inhale, getting that length through that right side, try not to compress into the left, lifting yourself up and over. Inhale, fresh air coming in. Exhale, pouring out. One more here, inhale, opening up your chest. And exhale, tipping over to the left. Inhale to come back to center. Interlace your fingers in front of you. Rounding through the spine, separate the shoulder blades, chin to chest. Stretch your hands forward as far as you can. Take a few breaths, just waking up the back body, bringing some fresh air into the back body. And when you're ready, coming behind, roll your shoulders up, back and down, and interlace your fingers behind the small of your back. Stretch your arms back behind, opening up your chest, and bringing your shoulder blades in towards each other. So breathing fresh air into the chest, lengthening the front body. And release. Inhale, fingertips up to the ceiling. On your exhale, we're going to roll through the spine, so drop your chin down to your chest, vertebrae by vertebrae, like the links of a chain, just slowly bringing yourself down into a forward fold. So vertebrae by vertebrae, bring your fingers down towards the mat, just as close as they will come. Feet could be hip distance apart, grabbing onto opposite elbow, and just swing from side to side here. Keep as much of a bend in the knees as you need. Take an inhale, hands onto the shins, halfway lift. So we're looking for 90 degrees in the hips, crown of the head is pushing forward. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Keep those knees bent a little bit if you need to. Feel like your sit bones are pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can stay on the shins, or you can shoot them back by your sides. Crown of the head forward, fingertips stretching back. Exhale to fold forward. One more here. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, folding forward. Plant your right hand onto the mat, rotating through your chest. Keep your left leg straight. Bend your right knee. Left fingertips are up towards the ceiling. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, twisting a bit more. Gaze is over to the side or maybe up to the ceiling. Inhale, left leg is straight, right knee is bent. Exhale, pouring out and release, changing sides. Left hand comes onto the mat, bringing your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Right leg is straight, left knee is bent. Inhale, opening up, twisting through the spine, waking the spine up. Exhale, pouring out. Inhale, gaze to the side or up to the ceiling. Exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together. One more breath here. And exhale to release back into your forward fold. Bend your knees, plant your hands on the mat, and step your right foot back to the back of the mat. Drop your right knee onto the mat and come onto the top of that foot. Bring your hands onto your left thigh and inhale, fingertips up to the ceiling. Exhale, sink your hips down towards the mat. Crawl that front foot forward a little bit here if you need some more space. Inhale, lengthening from your hip bones all the way up your spine, up to your fingertips. Exhale, sinking those hips down towards the mat. Inhaling for your cactus. So opening up your arms, elbows are bent at 90 degrees. Feel like someone is standing in front of you and pushing your elbows back so you're opening up your chest. And exhale, rounding forward for your arrow. Palms are touching, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale to open up. Exhale for your arrow. One more. Inhale, opening up. On your exhale, bring your hands either side of your front foot. Walk your hands back and straighten out that left leg. So left heel is on the mat, toes are pointing up to the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold it forward. So you can stay like this, getting into the backs of your calves and your hamstrings, or you can take a little bit of movement. So inhale, bring yourself forward and back up to your low lunge. Exhale, straighten that front leg. Fingertips can come back on the mat, or you can challenge yourself and stretch your hands back behind. Inhale, fingertips up to the ceiling, using your core control here to keep you stable. Exhale, straighten that leg. Inhale, coming into your low lunge, last one. Exhale, bring your hands either side of your front foot. You can stay in this low lunge, or you can take a twist, taking an inhale. Exhale, twisting belly, ribs and chest, left fingertips up to the ceiling. Few options here. Option to take a thigh stretch. You can bend up that back knee, grab on to the right foot with the left hand, really twisting through your belly, your ribs and your chest. If that's not available for you, you might like to tuck your back toes and lift your back knee off the mat. So just do what works for you this morning. Give yourself a few breaths. When you're ready, wherever you are, release the foot or bring your knee back on the mat. Heel toe that left foot over to the left and bring your hands to the inside of the left foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee up off the mat, coming into your lizard. So take any movements here, maybe some circles, maybe going forwards and back, whatever your body needs. Finding stillness, hands are shoulder distance apart, fingers are spread into the mat. And when you're ready, lightly lift that left foot and step it back to the back of the mat to meet your right. So we're into our plank pose. Crown of the head is pushing forward, heels are pushing back. Straight line from the head to the heels. So we're not dropping down like bananas or lifting our hips up like bananas. Nice and straight. Wrists, elbows and shoulders are in one line. Keeping that core connection, belly button in towards the spine. And we're just going to bend one knee, drop it onto the mat and lift it up. Dropping the opposite knee down and lift it up. Dropping one knee down, lift it up, and the other knee, and lift it up. When you're ready, dropping both of your knees onto the mat, bend your elbows, squeeze them in towards each other, drop your chin and your chest coming all the way down onto your belly. Untuck your toes so you're on the tops of your feet. Hands are beside your chest, fingers are spread and gripping into the mat. Inhale for baby cobra, lifting your chin and chest off the mat, very gentle, first little back bend. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower down. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. Inhale, maybe you can lift a little higher this time. Exhale, lower down. One more. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale to lower down. Tuck your toes. Push back up onto your knees. And lift your hips up and back. Walk your feet in a little bit if you need to for your first downward facing dog. Some knees can stay a little bit bent if you need them. Hands are shoulder distance apart, fingers spread into the mat. Looking for a straight line from the wrists all the way up to the hips. And walking out your dog, bending one knee, straightening the other. Lifting your hips up and back. When you're ready, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Bend your right knee and step your right foot between your hands at the front of the mat. Dropping that back knee onto the mat, coming onto the top of the back foot, and inhale up for your low lunge. Exhale, sink your hips down, so really getting into that left hip flexor. Inhale, getting that length through your spine. Exhale, sink it down. Bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, stretch your arms back behind, opening up your chest. Use every breath to create some more space. Every inhale, fresh air coming in. Exhale, pouring out, letting go of any stale air. One more inhale here. And on your exhale, bring your hands either side of your front foot. Walk your hands back to straighten out that right leg. Heel stays on the mat, toes pointing up to the ceiling. Inhale, bringing fresh air into your back body, to the back of your leg, your glutes, your whole spine. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, filling up. Exhale, folding down. Stay like that, or we can take our little movement. Inhaling for your low lunge. Exhale, fingertips can come onto the mat or challenge your stability using your core. Shoot your hands back behind. Inhale, coming up to your low lunge. Exhale, straighten that front leg. One more inhale, coming up. Exhale, bring your hands either side of your front foot. Taking your twist if you want it, twisting from your belly, your ribs and your chest. Fingertips up to the ceiling. Squeeze your shoulder blades together at the back, getting loads of space in the chest. Option for your thigh stretch, bend up that back knee, grabbing onto the top of the left foot with the right hand if you can. Getting into your left thigh, or option to tuck your toes and lift that back knee off the mat. Do what works for you. Notice how your sides might be very different. Wherever you are, drop that back knee onto the mat. Bring your hands to the inside of your right foot. Heel toe your right foot over to the right edge of the mat. Tuck your back toes and lift your back knee off the mat. So just coming forwards and back, side to side, little circles, really getting into the hips. And then finding stillness in your lizard pose. Hands are shoulder distance apart, fingers are spread, gripping down into the mat. Back toes are tucked, knees off the mat. Keep yourself as stable as you can and lightly step your right foot back to meet your left. Back into your plank. Super strong in your plank. Slight little tuck of your tailbone so your hips are coming up towards your ribs, very slightly. Belly button is in and up. Take a few breaths here, pushing your hands into the mat. And we'll lower down, so either dropping your knees onto the mat or coming forward onto your tippy toes. Bend your elbows, hover, and then lower it all the way down onto the mat. Coming onto the tops of your feet, And bring your hands wide out past the edges of the mat, pointing your elbows up towards the ceiling. When you're ready, taking an inhale, coming into a wide angle cobra. Exhale to lower down, elbows up to the ceiling. Inhale, lifting up. On your exhale, drop your right shoulder into the center. So you're twisting over to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, drop the left elbow into the center, twisting over to the right. Inhale, back to center. Keep your elbows up towards the ceiling, one more on each side. Twisting through the spine, coming back up. And drop that left shoulder in. Coming back up. Taking one more inhale in this wide angle cobra. And exhale to lower down. Bring your hands back beside your chest. Tuck your toes. Either push yourself straight back into your plank or push onto your knees and lift yourself straight back into a plank, lifting your hips up and back for your downward facing dog. Walk your feet in a little bit here if you need it. Pushing your belly and your ribs back towards your thighs. Tailbone is up and back, getting that length in your spine. Look between your hands, bend your knees, step up to the top of your mat. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, fold yourself forward. And inhale, coming straight into a chair pose. So feet are hip distance, bend your knees, sit down into that invisible chair behind you. Look down, you should be able to see your toes. And bring your hands so that your biceps are beside your ears. Hands could be shoulder distance or your palms could be touching. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, sitting down into your chair. Inhale, filling up. Exhale, sitting down. One more inhale. Exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding down. Plant your hands. Step back into your plank. Take your vinyasa, dropping down onto your knees, chest and chin, or chaturanga if that's in your practice. Inhale for your cobra or your upward facing dog. And all the way back into your downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Inhale, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Hips stay level. Exhale, bend your right knee, come forward to your plank. Bring your right knee to your right nose and step your foot between your hands at the back of the mat. Coming into a warrior one. So drop your back heel, your left heel onto the mat. And inhale, using your core nice and strong, nice and stable, lift yourself up to a warrior one. Knees over the ankle, knees in line with the toes, squaring your hips and chest forward. Inhale, filling up. Exhale, grounding down. One more breath here. On your exhale, bring your hands either side of your front foot, tuck your back toes, step back into your plank. Yogi's choice, knees, chest and chin, or chaturanga if it's in your practice. Coming through to your cobra, or your upward facing dog, all the way back to your downward facing dog. Straight into the other side, lift the left leg up. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend your left knee, come forward to your plank, bring your knee close to your chest, and step your left foot between your hands at the top of the mat. Warrior two, drop that back heel onto the mat. Inhale, lifting yourself up to your high lunge. Exhale, sink your hips down, square your hips and your chest forward. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands either side of your front foot. Come onto the back toes, step back into your plank. Knees, chest and chin, or chaturanga. Cobra, or upward facing dog. And all the way back to your downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Look between your hands, bend your knees. Step up to the top of your mat. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. And inhale back into your chair pose. Give yourself a breath in this chair pose. Every inhale, you're lengthening your spine. Every exhale, you're sinking down. Step your feet out so that they're way more than hip distance, probably about the edge of your mat. And slowly, with control, sit yourself down into your malasana, your yoga squat. Hands come into prayer in front of the chest. Bring your elbows to the insides of your knees. Just take any movements here, opening the hips up gently. Might go from side to side. Whatever feels good. Keep that length in your spine. So you might be flat on your feet, you might be on the balls of your feet, you might still be up very high, or you might be down low, it doesn't matter. One more breath here. And when you're ready, sitting down into your mat, coming into Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet come together. Bring your heels in as close as you can. Elbows onto your thighs. Open your feet out like a book. Take an inhale. And exhale, hinge from the hips and fold forward. Really think about using your breath here now, slowing your breath down. Every inhale, you're lengthening your spine, bringing fresh air in to the hips, the inner thighs, the groin. Exhale, folding forward. Slowing down the breath, slowing down the heart rate. One more inhale here. And slowly bringing yourself back up. Use your hands to bring your knees back together. Stretch your legs out, and we'll take a forward fold. So move some flesh from underneath if you need to. Inhale, fingertips up to the ceiling. Lengthen your spine, 90 degrees at the hips. And exhale, hinging from your hips and folding forward. So really lengthening that whole back line, the calves, the thighs, glutes, the whole spine. Gaze is to your big toes. So don't worry if you can't grab onto your feet. Use your thighs, calves, ankles, whatever works. One more inhale. Exhale, folding forward. And inhale, slowly bring yourself back up. Come into a comfortable seat to finish off your practice. So that might be with your legs out in front, cross leg, whatever works. Roll your shoulders up, back and down. Bring one hand onto your heart center and one hand on your belly and close down your eyes. Just notice how you're feeling right now. Notice your breath and your heartbeat. Notice how your body is feeling. Bring your hands into prayer in front of your chest. Thanking yourself for taking part in this practice. Thanking your body for everything it does for you. Thank you all so much for joining me. Namaste. I hope you all have a lovely day.